Yeah.
Because
I
feel
do
like
resonate with that.
I feel like that's the difference is that you and I are loyal to each other. We're not loyal to a concept.
God damn.
You know what I'm saying?
That was really good.
Like,
that sounded really good. I have something to share. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. If you're listening, auditorially only, I apologize. I'm gonna move the mics for a second.
Why? What are you doing? Don't you dare fart on me. Don't you dare fart on me.
I'm just showing my pants.
Oh my God.
I guess I should have that pun. That would just easier. Yeah. Look, I have my pun friends on my body. Instead of up here, they're down here.
Poking the visceral fear. I really
thought?
Yes, I thought you were going full happy baby pose to fart on me.
You thought I was just gonna rip ass?
Yes, I did.
Can you imagine?
I was so.
Why would I record that?
I can't wait to watch that back because I'm sure the panic on my face is just another level.
No, I don't know why I thought
Actually, probably not because I'm autistic and I don't emote very well sometimes.
I don't know why I thought that was the best way to show my shorts.
But Punky and I have to say, I admired the commitment. Yeah. You went all in. You went full vertical with those legs.
A little embarrassed.
I thought.
Thankfully, I have Mr. Worldwide here.
Our emotional support, Mr. Worldwide.
I know. I felt bad I didn't have him when we were talking about the carriage scene.
I know.
That really was the highlight of season 3, I think.
I think so too.
Should we just get right into it?
Yeah, we have a bunch to recap with you guys because we watched the rest of Bridgerton season 3 and we also watched Queen Charlotte. I saw all of your comments. Lots of you left us comments on the last episode that we needed to watch Queen Charlotte, and y'all were right. We really liked it.
That's actually the best. Queen Charlotte is, in my opinion, unequivocally the best piece of Bridgerton media.
Agreed.
That there is.
Like unquestionably.
I just can't be mad at the Queen anymore.
I know.
That. Like I was like, it's fine.
I get it.
When she was being a sourpuss, I was like, it's fine. When she wants to rip apart Lady Whistledown, I was like, I get it. You're bored.
Yes.
You're so bored.
Yes.
Also, the whole kids thing is fucking just
killed. My God.
That shit had me cracking up.
The whole air situation was pretty wild.
Can we talk about also what another great segue to actually this episode's going to tie together really well now that I think about it. But because I think we cried like babies. I had a good.
We were sobbing on the couch, both of us. When I looked over at you, I was like, okay, good, you too.
Oh yeah, the scene under the bed. Woo! And I think that's for me
the very last scene of the series, yeah.
And I think the part that hits me the most, obviously, is the importance of friendship and relationships truly cannot be understated.
Yeah.
I genuinely I think that is the core, especially for us too. I feel like that's what resonates with us so much, and we talk about that all the time, endlessly, probably annoyingly so.
Yeah.
But that core, even when everything, it's kind of the Ghibli thing.
Yes.
Even when everything is so fucked and ruined and destroyed.
It's not the way it should be.
But you have this little safe space with your best bud, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's not gonna be my turn.
Oh, sorry. Go. Are you gonna cry?
No, maybe.
It's very emotional, huh?
I feel so.
You're so sweet.
I don't know if it's empathy or it's hard to watch people who are in a relationship who are you see.
I know.
We talk about fundies and religion and all that stuff and predetermined marriages and stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's the other nice thing about it too is it really was this marriage, it was an arranged marriage for all.
No, it definitely was.
It was.
Yeah.
But they still I think it's that talk where you love though being a commitment where you can I think that's where we talk about you can grow to obviously I know it's a fucking show.
No,
you can grow to love somebody.
Yeah.
But I think that friendship though is still another level.
Yes, I think so. Yeah. No, there was a part in the show where she's trying to get him to admit that he loves her.
Mm-hmm.
And he is so terrified of admitting that because he feels like he's broken and damaged and all of this stuff. And I think anybody who has mental illness probably resonates with that to some degree, you know?
I feel
because there's this feeling of I can't give someone the life that I want to or the life that they deserve because they're going to need to take care of me or I'm going to have problems or for people who are disabled too, there's a feeling that way too that society has told you that you're not enough, you know? Yeah. And there's a fear about committing and going all in with this person that you love so much, but like you're afraid that you can't really love them. And I related so much to her being like, I'll stand between you and the heavens. Like, I'll tell you where you are. Like, very much me being like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's fine.
Yes.
Like, I don't care what our life looks. Or when she tells him to, they're like, if this is us living half a life, then we'll have the best half a life that we could have ever had.
I know.
Like, are you joking?
But also, too, that, like, at the core of it, too, this, like, so they spend all this money on this doctor and doing these wild-ass,
terrible things.
If someone's, like, I'm sure we have someone that's an expert in Regency era stuff. Was that, like, were they doing, is that how they were? Like,
shit if I know.
We were like, there's no way they would know your brain is, like, could be messed up back then.
Well, and they don't have imaging for sure,
how would they know? But also, too, that, like, Charlotte was, like, still kind of the thing. I'm convinced that doctor made him worse, right?
No, absolutely.
Like, that definitely is what happened.
I really feel like it was a power grab thing where, like, he wanted to continue being necessary to the king, so he was doing these things that would make him more fragile.
Yeah.
And I really think that it like, there's no world where torturing someone, trigger warning, sorry. We're not going to talk about it in graphic detail, but it does happen in the show. But there's no world where doing that to someone doesn't hurt them. You know, I mean, we know that now definitively from research.
It was torturing him.
Yes. Well, and there's also, like, no precedent for that in modern research about treating any number of, like, brain related illnesses with, like, essentially compliance training. We're not going to get into ABA because this is not about that, but like that's also why that has the potential to be so traumatizing.
Oh shit, really?
You know? Well, yeah, because you're trying to force a behavior modification when the root of it is neurological in nature. There's no behavior training that you can do to make a neurodivergency go away. You're just, like, suppressing somebody. You're not actually supporting them is the problem.
Yeah. And I think, like, the supporting part, too, is, like, Charlotte was there to support him.
Yes.
Like,
unquestionably.
Like, this doctor who's doing all this fucking wacky-ass wild shit.
Yeah.
To try and, like, fix him.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Charlotte's like, I'll just love him the way he is.
Yes.
And, like, take care of,
I think that was the thing that stuck out so much, too, is that, like, when you are mentally ill or you struggle with something that's, like, a chronic issue, people do this thing where they try to tell you, like, oh, no, you don't have that problem.
Oh, yes.
And it's so disingenuous because you're like, no, I do though. Like for sure, I fucking do. It makes you
feel so invalidated.
Yes, but so having somebody support you who's like, oh no, I know. Yeah, I don't care. It's fine. Like, be this way, be messier. I don't, that's not why I love you. I don't love you because you're put together. It's not that I love you because you're, like, easy or clean or, like, you know, not ever an issue. Like, I just love you for you. It doesn't matter if you're mentally ill or not. Like, you're still the same person.
I know you're talking like Queen Charlotte right now, but I feel like you're talking to me.
I mean, I am talking to you too, to be fair.
No.
Because I feel that way about you. We've talked about that before too, that, like, in the end stages of life too, like, I could never hand you off to be, like, cared for by somebody else. Like, get out of my way. First of all, do it better.
You know what you're doing.
Yeah, but second of all, like, that's not what we signed up for.
Yeah, no
like,
shit.
That's what I'm here for, you know? Not that I'm looking forward to changing your diapers, to be fair.
We'll just do it together like we do everything else. We'll have like a co-diaper changing station together.
Yeah, we'll hold hands while we get our diapers changed. Our room is probably
going to smell like shit.
Yeah.
I won't be doing any leg lifting like that, though, on you, don't worry.
I think you might be.
Was that a precursor? No, Queen Charlotte, without a doubt, I think is, like, the most wholesome. I wouldn't say wholesome, but, like, more heartfelt.
It was definitely the most, like, touching.
I think
that's for sure.
It felt like it had more gravity. I think also too, to some degree, there's just so much, like, oh, this other person is getting married off.
Yeah.
That, you know, obviously Penelope and Colin, like, I ended up really enjoying their story. Also, someone brought up the Lord Debling thing. That was in the same season, right?
Yes. It was literally right before the end of part 1 of season 3.
And then part 2, and they're like, this dude doesn't even exist anymore.
Completely gone.
I genuinely forgot he was a character.
I'm shocked that he didn't show up to pick up Cressida. Because I would be like, this is perfect. Like, not that it's good. This is, like, problematic, obviously, because, like, the Regency era, like, expectation, whatever, you get it. But, like, from Lord Debling's perspective of wanting a wife who wants very little from him, who is mostly looking for freedom, and also is, like, pretty non-demanding as far as, like, love and affection is concerned. Cressida needing an out from getting married to one of her dad's senile friends or getting shipped off to the countryside is, like, a pretty good choice.
Also too, like,
why would and also they, like, seem to vibe a little bit. Why would he not be like, hello, hi, excuse me? They
just said Cressida is forever miserable now, and
I struggle with Cressida's character arc too. Because at the end I was like, fuck you for trying to, like, expose Penelope and trying to extort everybody and all this stuff. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, does she need to be, like, full evil though? Like, I don't know. I feel like there's a case to be made for people doing bad things under duress.
I mean, because obviously for her own, like...
Yes, of course.
Well, but yeah, it's just hard.
But like she doesn't have an out.
Yeah.
It feels kind of like what Penelope yelled at Eloise for about how like not everybody gets to be a pretty Bridgerton.
Yes.
You know, like this family who they're rich and they're well regarded and they're all beautiful and they also all have genuine affection for one another. Like that Cressida has like 0 out of 4.
Oh my God.
Not that Cressida, like, she's the actress is beautiful, but they really do a number on her hair and her outfits to make
Cressida's
her
living arrangement is so, her family is so, that was hard, that was rough. That was
sad.
It's
sad.
Also, I'm like, did season 1 and 2, like, have, like, a villain, per se? I'm trying to think, or, like, really, like, the villain is in the relationship.
Yeah, and, like, Lady Whistledown a little bit, I guess.
Like, society is the villain?
I feel like it sort of moves, too, because, like, in season 1... Whistledown is sort of the enemy with like the Daphne and Simon thing and like the fear of getting exposed. Cressida is sort of wrapped up in that too, actually. Yeah. But then in season 2, it's like the queen sometimes, but then it's also like the other people in society and it's like sort of everybody. But season 3 was just like, we hate Cressida.
I know.
Which I don't agree with that.
I know. I have very mixed feelings about season 3.
I do too.
I don't know. Obviously like the Penelope and Colin stuff. Was nice.
But also... I feel like there wasn't enough of Penelope and Colin. Why did Daphne and Simon get like almost a whole episode devoted to constant fucking? Yeah. Like there was so much nudity. There was so much like honeymoon stuff. Yeah. Even Kate and Anthony, like we didn't see their wedding, but we saw a lot of them being cutesy poopsy. And Colin and Penelope got like none of that.
I really feel like then like the weird, it's not weird, but like the 30-second ad break for Benedict to like have like we just.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like
what was that? The rumor, I've seen people, I don't know if this is true, to be clear, because also there are some people who hate season 3, but because they're like non-inclusive assholes.
Yeah, what is going on with that? What is up with that?
So I'll explain that in more detail, but I've seen some commentary about season 3 that I think I agree with, but I'm trying to be discerning about it because some people hate season 3 because they're racist and homophobic. So there are rumors that were a lot of spicy scenes between Colin and Penelope,
of course,
that got cut, and that they put.
They said they broke a bed.
Yeah, they put apparently Benedict's like cuts back and forth over where those scenes would have been.
Oh my God!
I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
Because they felt kind of jarring sometimes.
Yes, they've never done that before, where we just watch somebody progress through a sex scene for like 10 minutes, but 30 seconds at a time, intercut between other people doing stuff.
It was bizarre because I was like, even when we were watching it, I was like, is it like...
Yeah.
Because not that their characters don't deserve to be fleshed out, and it was nice seeing
I liked it, yeah. I like seeing Benedict get to live his free little life, but...
Also, too, when people get upset about book adaptations, I'm like, clearly y'all were not there for Aragon. So, like, my heart has been...
That's true.
That was probably the beginning. Honestly, if I had to guess, that was probably, like, one of the core...
Trust ruptures for you.
Oh, yeah, as far as becoming a hater. Because, also, we watched a clip back, one of our first clips about me being, like, a recovering hate ass or whatever.
Yes.
I'm like, no, right, full circle, right back around.
In our validated hater era.
Because it's a protective... It's a protective factor, I think.
Also, it's morally neutral to just not like things.
I think there's so many things to not like.
You can just dislike things.
Absolutely.
That's fine. It doesn't make you a bad person to have an opinion about things.
Yeah.
But no, so there are people who dislike season 3 because specifically, spoilers, by the way, if you are watching the show but don't want spoilers from the books, mute your playback right now. People are mad, first and foremost, that Lord Kilmartin, who is Francesca's now husband.
I love them together.
I do too. They're so cute. But his cousin in the books is a man who's named Michael. And I don't know for sure, but I think what happens is that Francesca falls in love with Michael in the books. Because remember, so the reason that people are mad is because Michael in the TV show now is Michaela. So people are mad because he was the most beloved, blah, 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 blah. Never heard anyone talk about him before this, but now all of a sudden y'all are protective.
Yes, literally.
Also of a man. Ew. A fake man who doesn't even exist.
It's always, it's personally, the Team Jacob versus Team Edward.
Yes. I personally refuse to have my joy stifled about a queer relationship appearing in one of Netflix's most popular shows.
During Pride Month?
Yes.
That's homophobic.
Like, I'm so excited about it. But people are mad about that. Remember in the very beginning of season 3, there was a moment where Francesca, she's freshly out in society and she's standing with a bunch of other debutantes and they're all talking about things they want in a husband.
Oh, yes.
And Francesca is like, well, I would hope that someone would be kind. And I was like, she didn't say he.
Oh, you did say that. You literally said that.
Someone, or like they.
I remember.
She didn't say he.
Yes.
And also, I was like, she doesn't look like she's relating to this conversation. I was like, I'm calling it right now. Francesca is queer. Like,
You did say that.
praying to God that there's going to be a queer storyline in this show, and I think this is it.
As your witness.
The way that she relates to all of these conversations is like, I don't get it. And like, I don't care.
Makes sense why she enjoys the silent, like.
Yes, it feels like compet. Like just this feeling of like, I should care more about this.
Like
and so I'll try to force myself. But then she has this whole thing with her mom where like, you know, not everybody's love is like big and like, you know, you like hits you right in the face when you first see someone, whatever. And then Violet explains what it felt like to meet Edmund and how it was like she got ran over by a truck. That would be and then she sees Michaela and has this moment.
Oh, yeah.
It felt very full circle. I was really excited about it. That would be amazing
if that's what the next is, her having this like sweeping
being like, oh
romance.
My God.
Yes, like
that's why that's why I had this like gentle, quiet love for Lord Kilmartin because
wow. I feel like you probably just spoiled all of season 4.
I know.
I feel like you probably did.
But I'm fine with it.
I love that. Yeah, do you have any other final thoughts?
I don't think so. I feel like we should wrap up Bridgerton and talk about what we're talking today.
I think Bridgertoned out.
Yeah. Me
officially.
Too. Let us know what your hot takes are, your opinions,
please.
Your thoughts and feels about it.
As long as they're not homophobic, that is
racist.
Still pride.
Yeah, people are also mad that Michaela, besides being a woman, is also black. And Lord Kilmartin, people were like, he should be lighter skinned. Huh?
That's a weird thing to say on the internet.
They're like, but he was handsome in the books. Yeah.
The
Disgusting.
actor is undecidedly
like. Yes. First of all,
there's not a single unattractive person in that whole fucking show.
But also, it's a book. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's whatever you imagine in your head.
Exactly. So thank you for just outing yourself on the internet as being a person who doesn't find dark-skinned people attractive. Yeah. That's racist. Literally,
people just be telling on this.
To insinuate that all dark-skinned people are unattractive is so gross and weird.
That's fucking awful.
And to say that out loud,
like, and not have any.
People are wild. I feel like there's one half of the Bridgerton fandom that's like great and here for the girlies, and the other half is like toxic romance novel girlies. Like,
I won't say what their fandom reminds me of.
I know. Don't do it. Okay, let's talk about our subject matter today, which actually is kind of a nice dovetail because we want to talk about the concept of like being friends as like a married couple. People ask a lot about like, you know, what makes a relationship healthy, and not us, but like specific, like generally on the internet. And you and I think are pretty firmly in the camp that like, if you're not on some best friend shit, it's going to make your marriage a lot harder.
I mean, like, it will just make it a lot harder, I feel
it's not that you can't do it. I think it's totally possible. Yeah. But I know in our experience, at least, having walked through some actually pretty difficult shit, the thing that I continue to come back to is that regardless of whether I like am in love with you or love you or like have a sexual attraction to you or whatever, like you are genuinely my best friend.
Always and forever, yeah.
And so, like, I would never give that up. You know, I don't want to anyways.
I don't understand, too, why you'd even, like, life, we talk about this all the time. It's already hard enough. Like, why make it any more fucking difficult?
Yes. So we're talking about this couple today. A couple of y'all have brought this to my attention.
Thank you for bringing it to our attention.
I've also gotten requests in my own personal life. People being like, do you know who these people are? Yeah. So we're going to watch 2 TikToks from this couple whose names are Matt and Abby. They also have a podcast. They're pretty popular. They interview, like, big name celebrities and stuff.
How do people do that? Like, how?
I don't know.
Why? Like, also these people?
They must have a great agent, probably.
And live in California, I'm sure.
Or be signed to, like, some company that manages content creators, probably. But so we're going to watch these 2 TikToks, one of which is about Father's Day. At the time we're recording, Father's Day just passed, so this might be a little late. But the other one is about divorce. So let's watch this one first.
We've decided as a family that we are not celebrating Father's Day this year.
Father's Day, it's always in June, and it's like always around.
Last year was June 18th, which is Matt's birthday. So he had Father's Day and his birthday on the same day. And
so sad.
I will say I did kind of combine the holidays.
You did combine the 2 of them. It's okay, though. I mean, you were pregnant. You were uncomfortable. You were close.
We just gotten back from our baby moon that day.
Real quick. First and foremost, do you have thoughts about like combining Father's Day and your birthday? You're not a father, obviously.
I've seen this and so I've been mad about it already. So I'll be mad about it again. But I don't know.
Because to me it feels weird.
To combine them?
No, to be upset about combining them.
I also, man, you know, misogyny and the patriarchy, like, you know, if they really got rid of Father's Day, you know, like that would be like, I think that would be everyone's fucking come up. Like maybe that, you know, That's how I feel about it. That's a little
Honestly,
radical.
valid, Punk.
That's a little radical. I know.
That's a
I understand that.
bit of a hot take,
also,
but I don't hate it.
Especially too, because I just know for a fact, even after like 15 seconds of this, I know she's doing a majority of the emotional labor. I know she's doing a majority of the parenting. Like, I just know. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Especially because she's talking about being heavily pregnant. They just got home from a baby moon.
I'm not gonna. Yeah.
And that she was uncomfortable. And so it was her job to put all of these things together. But so listen to what they actually did.
I got you a cake from DQ.
I guess we had just gotten
our
home.
family over and grilled.
Well, I grilled, but I know a lot of dads grill on their birthday.
Yeah.
But so, okay, for Father's Day and your birthday combined, you had friends and family over. He grilled.
He sat by the grill, looked at the meat,
held a beer and talked to his friends. While his wife ran around probably chasing their kids and asking everybody else, do you need a drink? Do you need anything? Is everything okay? Chasing after everybody else's kids probably. Yeah. And she also got a cake from Dairy Queen. Which, by the way, if you don't know, cakes from Dairy Queen
they're
slap.
They're so good.
They're so
fucking good.
Ice cream cakes are a superior product
Honestly,
in my opinion.
Dairy Queen really just...
I know, it's surprising. But like, I can understand feeling however you feel. People are entitled to that, right?
Of course.
But to label this as like a letdown is
or like
really
some slight
odd.
Against you.
Because I was expecting, when I first watched this, I was expecting them to say like, well, we combined her husband Matt's birthday and Father's Day, and we went over to like Abby's dad's house, or like to Matt's dad's house, and so like he didn't really get to be they were at their own house.
Also, like, just
what?
Motherfucker, thank God his birthday isn't in fucking December or November.
Literally.
Like, welcome to the club where we just combine and you get one major gift.
Yes.
Like.
But also, too, like, big only child energy.
Big
also.
only fucking child energy.
Because I don't know if he's an only child, to be clear, but
he's acting like it.
Growing up, my brother and I, our birthdays are really not that far apart.
Yeah. You guys all the time.
So we had joint birthday parties up until the time that I was probably a teenager. Like, it was the way that it was. And like, to be fair, a good amount of that is because we were poor. So, we would have like a birthday party at the park. Yeah. And my mom would buy a sheet cake from Costco.
You guys would go ham.
But and that's the thing too, is that like, it wasn't about that like our birthdays were shared, because my mom would like buy the sheet cake and like scrape all the icing off and then redecorate it with half exactly what I wanted and half exactly what he wanted, and like we had pink balloons over here and blue balloons over there. It was like the intention. Like I never felt like my birthday wasn't special.
Yeah. Also good.
I feel like we're like, he's fixating a lot on like the actual things and not about like the intention. That like, she heavily pregnant, just got home from a trip, is tired, uncomfortable, and hot, still made the effort to shine a light on your birthday, even though it was on Father's Day.
Also, I just can't fucking imagine you being pregnant and me razzing you about anything. About a single fucking thing. Unless you were like actively being mean or something, but even still, I'd probably be like, it's your hormones. It's not your fault. Yeah. You're also cooking a fucking whole human in there.
Yeah.
Like,
fair enough.
I'm gonna let you cook, Yes. I don't know. Also, I don't know enough about them to like make a full picture, but let's just continue.
Yeah.
Your child.
You did grow my child.
All day, every day.
But like Father's Day and my birthday were the same exact day.
Yeah,
and it kind of was a bummer.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I failed you. I'm so sorry.
But you know what? This year, we're boycotting Father's Day for the month of June and celebrating it 3 months after my birthday.
Hello?
Also, what does that accomplish?
I don't know.
Also, it feels so punitive.
It does.
Also, him being like, yeah, you fucked it up, but that's okay. You're gonna do a better job next time, right?
Right?
Like, also,
that's not
like,
just me who feels like he's like making a spectacle out of punishing her.
Yes. It's like,
really uncomfortable.
Is it your fucking kink, dude? Don't do that shit in public in front of him. I don't want to see that shit.
It's really weird.
I just can't imagine putting your spouse down too publicly like that.
Yes. The thing that I don't relate to is that even after having been through some difficult stuff where like, I mean, we acknowledged on 2 episodes ago, 3 episodes ago, I don't know.
A podcast previously.
A few episodes ago that we went through a period of time where we were seriously contemplating separating or divorce because we had both hurt each other at some point. We were like working through our own stuff. Yeah. But even in talking about that, I was like, okay, but it's fine. Like I'm so fiercely defensive of you and being like, well, it wasn't like that.
But also too, like we're both so much like, oh, I'll just own it was my fault. Like, it was my fault. I'll take responsibility for it. Not like, I just can't. Also,
it's
over
the finger
a birthday
pointing.
and Father's Day. Also, what is putting it off 3 months? Also, now it's just another
3 months
event.
Is so arbitrary and weird.
It's just another event now that you're gonna hold your spouse to task for.
Apparently.
Like also, too, I'd be like, I'm not doing anything. I would not. That like would intrinsically make me not want to do anything now.
Yeah.
Because you're like punishing me.
Mm-hmm. You're like making a thing out of it. The thing that's odd to me too is I can understand feeling like like my birthday's not really special. If it's falling on a holiday or whatever, because I'm like a birthday person. I think,
and see, that's where I'm not a birthday person.
Yeah, I think birthdays are just a sacred thing. Mm-hmm. I won't get into it. I won't like preach on my soapbox about it, but I think birthdays are special.
Do you want to? This is our soapbox.
Actually. That's fair. I just think that birthdays are special because, like, regardless of what you believe from like a spiritual or energetic, I don't know, perspective or whatever, the day that you like came into the world,
existence,
I think is noteworthy. You know, like because the thing about like human life is that it's actually pretty difficult to replicate, and it's like really
clearly,
really like, I don't know, interesting that like nature has just like figured out a way to like conglomerate really all of these things. We're actually
really good at reproducing clearly.
Well, and it's cool, you know, that
is.
like there's all these things that had to align. There's all of these like circumstances that had to all line up in such a way that like you as a specific entity came into the world in the way that you did. And like, I just think that's really special and neat. I think it deserves to be celebrated, you know?
Yeah.
Especially because, like, for you, like, I love you, right?
I love you too.
And so thinking about the day that you came into existence is special because I'm like, you know, you were like, 2 minutes old. You didn't even know it yet.
We were right
that's
by,
my best friend.
Yeah.
You know?
Our best buds were born in the same hospital, too.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's so cool.
So crazy.
I love that. So, like, I think birthdays are special, and I can understand feeling a little bit miffed about yours not being special.
And I'm saying, like, go on.
And I think making this whole thing where like your birthday has to be 3 months away from any other holiday is so intense.
This is like how to not use boundaries.
Yes.
Like it's giving like, this is like how you make like use boundaries to make
inappropriately.
Also, because also the way you feel about birthdays is how I feel about names.
That's valid.
Because actually, I'm kind of resonating with the birthday thing now a little bit more. Because I'm like, you can't. Because like for me, like you can't take someone's name away.
Yeah.
You know, like especially
they're
people
like,
who have chosen their names and stuff like that. Like that's like
it's so important.
Yeah.
It's like sacred, I think.
That's why I really But it just feels so. I know I said already, but punitive.
It does.
Like why would you?
It also feels childish.
It does. Genuinely.
I could see this man throwing a tantrum if one of his kids happened to be born near his birthday.
Oh my God, genuinely.
Which is weird. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying men shouldn't advocate for themselves or like if your feelings are hurt too.
Yes.
But also too like doing it in a way that doesn't punish your partner.
Yes. Well, because that's the thing is he didn't first of all voice this privately where they just had a conversation processing like, hey, I know that like obviously it's no one's fault because we can't control the way that linear time progresses.
Yeah.
But Father's Day falling on my birthday just made me feel kind of unspecial, you know? That's very different because I feel like most people in hearing that would be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, should we do something?
Yeah.
Maybe, this year, since your birthday is close to Father's Day again, we'll just go out to a special dinner, just you and me on the weekend, you know? We'll have somebody watch the kids, have a special night, just the two of us. I want to make you feel seen. See, like that's so different than being like 3 months, my birthday special, no Father's Day, we're boycotting a holiday.
But also too, so like is the expectation for her to do like the most?
I think so.
And also too, the thing that I bump into or I have trouble with is like I just want to celebrate you every day.
Yes.
Is the like
same.
I want like on a regular basis, I want to make sure you feel seen.
Yes.
I want to make sure like also I do a much better job. We do a much better job of making sure we get little treats.
Yes.
And we are having fun.
We are a sweet treat family.
We are a sweet treat family.
And I love it.
We should just like be able to like I don't know what they're doing special or what to him is like a way for him to feel seen.
Sure.
In their relationship, but also like, and I know they have kids and stuff, so I know that does create another barrier to
feeling that way. Sure.
Spontaneous.
Yeah. I hear that.
For instance.
Yeah.
But like, it's just stuff you would want to be doing. And also then my next question, and I don't mean to, and I know it's like, it's not apples to oranges, honestly. I feel like it's fair, but like, what did you do for Mother's Day?
I was going to say that too.
Yeah,
Yes. Like, what's the energy like on Mother's Day and on her birthday?
Yeah.
Because I have a sneaking suspicion that she is the one who has to plan things and organize things and invite all the other moms and plan the activities.
Because she said she
and
invited
make the menu.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, they still had an event. They still had a day. If there's more than like one other person at our house, I'm like, damn, we just had a fucking.
I know.
Like.
Which, to be fair, that's an us thing.
It is totally an us thing.
We're
and I'm fine with it.
I was going to say closeted, but that's not. We're not that.
We're not closeted.
At all. We're very private in our personal lives.
Yes.
But I just don't.
This is the thing too, where like I'm just never gonna agree with a man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and I'm just gonna say it.
And people will call us biased for it, and you're right.
Right, you're right. I am.
I wear that as a fucking badge of honor.
And you know what? I think we're on the right track most of the fucking time. So I'm absolutely fucking fine with that.
Unapologetic man hater.
I don't fucking care because
I just my ass about it.
Without a reasonable doubt, we can assume. But also, I would be hard pressed to be proven wrong at this point if you're publicly. It's like the husband who's eating the fucking food in front of his spouse.
Oh my God,
and just fucking pummeling
being
her
so
self-esteem into the ground.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to agree with that behavior.
No.
Okay, there's this other one that recently gathered some attention on TikTok. So we're going to watch this.
TikTok does love making things have attention to them.
For us, like divorce is just not on the table. It's not an option. I think people go into marriage thinking divorce is an option. That's why they kind of work themselves towards divorce subconsciously.
There's like so much to unpack in just that sentence.
You should go first then, I say.
So the thing that sticks out to me first and foremost is the language that's being used of like divorce is not an option, and other people go into marriage thinking that divorce is an option. Like, yes. In the same way that emergency exits are always an option.
I don't have to use them.
Yeah. I don't go into a movie theater expecting to leave through the emergency exit unexpectedly.
Yeah.
But I am sure fucking well going to familiarize myself with where they are in case it becomes necessary.
Yeah.
Right? That's what divorce is. It exists for a reason. No fault divorce protects people in cases of abuse, in cases of like, incompatibility and like fundamental like incongruencies in a relationship. Why would you choose to go into a relationship and say, even if things are terrible, the shit is hitting the fan, it has become unsafe, unfulfilling, like straight
Whatever
up not
your
a
reason
good time.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. We're not allowed to leave. What?
Why would you? That'd be like being stuck on a plane and being like, sorry, the plane's going down, but
no emergency
we're
exits.
all going down with it.
Why would you do that?
Also, too,
for the glory, for the honor? Like, no, I don't have anything to prove.
Because actually, I have like three things that are coming to mind right now. Is for us I think we to some degree did have that mindset, especially when we were younger. Do we know how old they are? They're probably about our age.
I'll Google it.
But as people who like did put divorce on the table, it was actually very freeing.
Yes.
In a sense that like just talking about it, destigmatizing it.
Yep.
Destigmatizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to say demystifying for a second.
I mean,
kind of
that too.
Yeah, kind
honestly,
of that too.
Like familiarizing ourselves with what that actually looks like.
Yeah, I almost made two words. So, but I think, but like having it on the table and be an option, and like again, I'm really gonna keep preaching this now at this point. But like sometimes men, especially people who have been heavily molded by our society, which is misogynistic and patriarchal. Then like sometimes you have to like, there's just something in there. It's like there's a lock or something, and you just gotta like break it sometimes to realize like what the fuck is right in front of you.
I feel like you sort of like sometimes it does become a situation of having to just not coddle men's feelings. And I feel like a lot of this language is sort of designed to do that, of like, don't scare this man, don't like rattle him up or make him feel at all threatened. And like sometimes it is important, I think, to have a very honest conversation that like, I love you and I cannot stay in a relationship that isn't safe for me, that's not fulfilling for me, that isn't like ultimately going to add something positive to my life, I
think that's fair for people to want.
That's not like threatening. That's not an ultimatum. I think there's a difference between being honest that like, I do love you and I want this, and also I'm not committed to sacrificing myself on this altar of like, honor and respectability so that we never get a divorce. Like, that's not fair.
But also too, I think this is where the best friend shit comes into play too. Is like because we also, the conversations we had of it, we weren't screaming. No. It wasn't like, it was very nonchalant. Was worse,
because it was just quiet and sad.
Yeah, exactly. But like several, like it didn't make sense. But like having that option there was nice, that like that is a way for us to take care of each other in like the worst scenario. And also too, I think there's just we were going through 2 couples therapy at the same time. Yeah. And like actively just like digging out the fucking.
Yeah, we were working out a lot of stuff that had been lingering for a while.
I forgot my other 2 points that I was going to say.
That's fair.
What is this video even about again? I remembered. My other thought with this too is like divorce is neutral.
Yes.
Neutral. Like, I just don't understand. Fine. Also, too, second thing is, again, we tell men we tell women too. Yeah. We just tell everyone basically. Yeah. Is that you're only valuable is when you become married.
Yes.
And start creating a family.
Reach these milestones.
Yes. Yeah. And like No, that isn't again.
That's not
just
real.
Being in society again, and the expectations of the ton.
Yeah, I was literally about to say that. I was swallowing my water so I couldn't say it.
But I just don't. It's just like another made up construct. Like it's really, especially too if you're doing it amicably.
It means nothing. Yes.
But like also too, like if it is unsafe, then like why would that not be like?
Yes.
Maybe that's how they feel, but like no, I think just to be using your platform and like perpetuating these ideas
that
about,
are harmful.
Like, stay in your lane, shut your fucking mouth, keep your blinders on.
Dangerous.
And like don't think or look at anything too hard. Like
no. The other thing that came up for me in watching this TikTok is that when we went through a period of time where we were talking about separation or divorce or living separately or whatever, that I have such a distinct memory of talking about this in couples therapy. Because our therapist was like, why does it feel important to you to consider that as an option? And I was like, because if we make it through this period of time, if we make it to the other side of this, I want to know full well that I considered every option that was available to us, that we didn't choose to stay married out of cowardice, that we didn't choose to stay married because we're afraid of other people's judgment. It's going to make me cry. That like we didn't choose to do this because of some other outside factors. Like I did it and we stayed because I wanted to.
No, because we wanted to.
You and I both made a conscious choice knowing that we had an emergency exit, that like no one was going to be like judgmental or mean or shamey about that. Like we chose not to take that door because staying here was genuinely what we both wanted. And like I feel so much more situated and like stable and healthy in our relationship knowing that we both looked very intentionally and like seriously at that option and we're like, no, I don't want that.
And I think too, this like also like what's resonating with me right now is like when people talk about marriage being hard or whatever.
Yeah.
And like I think it's hard because like marriage and like what we've gone through is hard.
Yes. Yeah.
But like the act of wanting to stay, the act of loving you, the act of like being your friend,
that was never hard.
Is not hard at all at any point. Like it's hard when you have to face that like the things you are doing are hurting your partner, that you're not showing up for them.
Face your own shit.
You're not like being, also it takes a lot of work. I don't think people really understand the amount of work it takes to like actively, especially too, because we're like raised with so many things. Like no one moves through life without like
change,
any, but like any like things being impressed upon you.
Expectations.
Like, like how the nature versus nurture thing or whatever. But like it is hard to actively go against like your like so many of
things
my
you've been indoctrinated with.
Like especially for me, like my biggest thing is like shutting down and like withdrawing and very much like being to myself,
conflict avoidant.
And like that didn't help us move through.
No.
And in fact, it left very many like things left on the table. Like every time we tabled something, like we had a buffet of things that had not gone addressed because I was uncomfortable. And like so for me, it is a lot of work. To do that, but I choose to do that. Like I choose to do that hard work for you, for us.
Well, and that's the thing though, is that like being with you and being like stable and safe in our relationship makes that work on ourselves so much easier.
It does, genuinely.
Because we sort of got lost in this like cycle of you being conflict avoidant and shutting down and feeling too afraid to like voice your own emotions. And I would be this like endless pursuer of like, tell me things, because I'm like so attuned to your emotions that I'd be like, I can feel it. Like, just tell me what it is. And so I would chase you around and you'd be like, no. And then I would chase you around and it would cause
Not
you
physically, of course.
No, never. No, but it would cause you to withdraw even more. And so we got stuck in this thing. But like, especially going to couples therapy and having like, safe mediation for somebody to be like, hey, stop it. Like, leave him the fuck alone. Why don't you try being fucking validating and like just giving him some fucking space. And then you like
defensive when
and like I need to solve everything right now.
That is
because
so
that's
true.
what was modeled for me growing up.
And my parents that was the complete opposite for me.
Yeah, my parents would get in blow up fights that were huge and aggressive and so emotional because they never took time to emotionally regulate, but they would resolve a conflict in an afternoon. But like for you, that was the complete opposite experience.
Not on my side of the family. We still got conflicts from when we were
feeling like we weren't resolving it. I was like, we're gonna get a divorce. Like our marriage is gonna fail if we don't fix it. And like, no. But so having somebody mediate that for us, where I was like, oh, it's okay. It is safe for me to just like let you cook. Has made the work that I'm doing on myself and like your work that you're doing on yourself so much easier. because I trust you. Like, now that I have taken a minute to like get out of my own way and like look outside of my own experience, I trust you implicitly. I'm like, oh, like you just need time.
Yeah.
You just don't process like
and
I
it
do.
sounds so simple. I know this is like such easy.
Yeah, no, to be clear, it's not that simple,
no,
obviously.
but like also, but at the same time it is, but also like doing, but see, that's again too, the thing is like, the challenge is in learning to unlearn what you
because
want, what your gut reaction
it's
is.
Also, that's the thing, is it's like an instinct.
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
It's like this unspoken and unconscious.
It's safety. It's protective.
Desire. Yeah.
Yours just looks different than mine.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But like our marriage is not the hard part. Like the work on myself is the hard part.
Yeah.
Getting out of my own fucking way.
Yeah.
And like externalizing all of my own traumas and stuff. Like that's what's hard. But knowing that like you're safe and I trust you and that you can be consistent and reliable makes all of that so much easier to do. You know?
Yeah.
I really don't agree with the whole like marriage is so hard and it's so impossible
no.
and like, you know,
it's not.
No, it's not. It's really not. Okay, let's watch the rest of this TikTok. We got sort of lost.
I think we were right where we needed to be.
That's fair.
Obviously, there's very valid reasons for divorce. There's so many different circumstances that could that totally validate those people's situations. But for us, in our relationship, I think that the reason we're able to have a strong marriage, that doesn't mean that we don't have conflict, we don't have weak spots. It's because we both believe in the commitment we made to each other.
That's not the same, though.
Yeah, those aren't the same, though. Because I kind of like... Because I appreciate them talking about having conflict and stuff and normalizing that.
Sure.
Which is why I also enjoy us sharing these moments, because it's part of being in a relationship.
It's honest. Yes. Yeah. I know people say stuff too about how like you guys are so cute and you're like relationship goals, and like don't get me wrong, I think we're cute too, obviously, but like you know, we're fucking people who are also like wounded, you know, like neither of us really had great childhoods necessarily. So like we definitely do our own like projecting and all that, like we're human beings. But I just don't resonate. You know what it reminds me of?
Tell me.
This thing. The whole like, well, we believe in the commitment that we've made, so we don't need to talk about divorce. It reminds me of this moment from an old Paul and Morgan video that gets like recirculated in the Fundy Snark world every now and again, of Paul saying something about how when they fight, he's really glad that they're married or that they got married quick or whatever, because he was like, oh, in those moments, I'm really glad that she can't leave me. Yeah.
He says that?
Yeah. I don't know if it's verbatim that, but the energy basically is like, I'm glad that when we have arguments that we're married and not like just dating, because she can't leave me.
He said that on the internet?
There have been times when I've done something or said something to Morgan that's been so hurtful, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, it's nice knowing that she can't go anywhere.
Yeah, he did. But like, this is kind of that energy of like, we don't talk about divorce because we believe in the commitment. Like, yes, so do I. Like, I believe in the commitment that we made to each other so much so that I'm not afraid to have a conversation about divorce, because I know at this point, you and I have both looked at that option and made the conscious choice to say, no, I don't want that actually.
And I think for me, especially when we were younger, because we got married when we were 21, and at the time...
We were 20, actually.
Oh, yeah, you're
we
right.
Couldn't drink at our wedding reception.
We couldn't drink at our wedding.
Made ice cream instead.
We very much, I mean... Oh, you're right, we couldn't. But at our wedding, the party. The party,
yes. That was a year later.
Because also, like, I will forever... The Total Wine, because we forgot the tap. And our wedding was like an hour away from the closest Total Wine.
Yeah.
And that
if
dude...
Not more.
And
that kid got the hookup.
That
though.
dude, yeah, we sent him home.
We were like, sit down, have some food, hang out,
He didn't
man.
do keg stands with us, did he? No, we did that much later.
Yeah.
Did you do a keg stand that night?
No.
Oh.
I was afraid.
Yeah, I know, because we were all doing keg stands because we needed to finish the keg.
Yes, I remember.
That's some 21-year-old shit.
See everybody in their cowboy boots, too.
Oh, I know. We were at a different time. It
we
was
were
very,
in our country bumpkin phase.
Look up 2010's Pinterest wedding. That's what the wedding looked like.
Burlap everywhere.
I have some of that footage. Maybe someday...
Oh.
Someday, but not this episode.
Ooh.
Maybe someday we'll watch it together.
Yeah.
I do. It's like VHS quality.
So embarrassing.
Oh, that DJ we had. We'll talk about our wedding.
We'll talk about our wedding another time.
But I think the two things that come up for me is, I know this is gonna sound callous and harsh, but like, I don't give a fuck about our marriage in the title sense.
Yes.
So
agree.
Like, especially to go back, because when we got married, because we went back and forth on the last name and all these different things. And I was like, well, that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way we're supposed to do
Mr.
things.
Traditionalist.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think which is a great thing for me to share with you guys too, so you understand, like,
you evolved a lot.
I very much had those, like, let's just do, we're doing as they've done before us. And like, that is the way.
20-year-old Aaron was really threatened by the idea of me not taking your last name.
Oh, yeah.
Also, maybe you have a gnat on your shirt. Don't kill it.
Oh, yeah. You gotta go, little guy. Oh, I literally am keeping him alive. Kept him alive. I didn't even squish him. I picked him up so gently.
That's very gentle. Gentleman.
But yeah, so we were doing everything in the traditional way. But like, now looking back on it, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, even if, like, other than obviously the tax benefits and stuff, but like, the
logistical
and, like,
stuff.
Realistically, one of us could commit a crime. We could commit crimes.
True, and spousal privilege or whatever.
Yeah. So obviously that helps with being gay and doing crime.
Yeah.
But that's really the gay agenda, in my opinion.
Being gay and doing crime with your spouses.
Partner in crime.
Yep.
But yeah, like, I just don't, like, I don't give a fuck about the commitment to the title, like, our marriage.
Yeah.
I care about you.
Yes.
Like, I care about, like, if that,
I care more about you.
If our marriage certificate, obviously I'd be sad, but if our marriage certificate just, like, burned up and we weren't considered married anymore, like, we would just go on.
As long as I have you, that's fine.
I don't give a fuck.
Call
I wouldn't
whatever
care,
you want.
literally.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, I would bite the bullet with the taxes and all of that if I got to keep you.
I literally,
like, if somebody gave me the option of, like, have a, quote unquote legitimate, like, titled marriage to anybody, or have, like, no official title with Aaron, choosing Aaron every time.
Every time.
Like, it's not a hard choice to me.
Literally. I also too, when they, like, the commitment we've made, like, are you saying the commitment to your partner or the commitment to, like, the idea of your marriage?
Yes.
Because it's giving, like, Christianity where, like, I've committed myself to God, and so, like,
our covenant to God.
And so, like, whatever happens from here on out, like,
I am not so committed to a metaphorical idea that I'm willing to sacrifice my lived experience and current happiness.
Like,
I don't want that. If maintaining a covenant to God and a thing in title only requires me to not be happy and to give up, like, my current general life satisfaction, and I'm not talking about just in one moment either.
No.
Obviously everybody has conflict, but, like, generally speaking, I am very happy in our life.
Same.
Like, I'm very happy with you as my partner. I'm very fulfilled in our marriage. But if I had to choose between being fulfilled and having a title, I'm choosing being fulfilled. Yeah. Like, I just don't understand the, like, commitment to the thing. Like, I'm not sacrificing my happiness so that I can just continue to have this, like, thing that from the outside is, like, what you're meant to have.
It's a perception thing.
Yeah.
There's some lyrics that are coming to mind. Do you care if I
share
look
them?
Up okay.
Tell us about them.
Oh, pretty princess.
Also, we can't play it.
No, of course I'm gonna read it.
Okay. Also, while Aaron's looking for that, look at our snail, y'all. We found this wee little guy at the thrift store. Isn't he so cute? He's made of all, like, wicker or rattan or something. But I think he's quite cute. You're going to sing them?
No, of course not. I did have my first vocal lesson yesterday. I'm very proud of myself.
I'm proud of you too.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. I wonder if you're going to get it right away. No, I'm going to read them.
Okay. You're so shy sometimes,
I know.
Punk.
Okay, are you ready?
You're so cute.
All
yes.
right. Tell me who you loyal to. Is it love for the streets when the lights get dark? Is it unconditional when the Rari don't start? Tell me when your loyalty is coming from the heart. Loyalty.
Why would you?
I think it really is, though. Like,
I don't disagree.
I'm down, even if the Rari don't start.
Even if we don't have one.
Yeah, I'm never gonna have one. Obviously, not us.
Doesn't start because it's not ours.
So, but also too. Now I'm like, loyalty. Does that? Well, I am loyal to you, though. Yeah.
Because I feel like
resonate with that.
I feel like that's the difference. Is that you and I are loyal to each other. We're not loyal to a concept.
God damn.
You know what I'm saying?
That was really good.
Like,
that sounded really good.
Well, I think that's true. I mean, that's what we were just talking about. That, like,
I guess, but you just said it in like one.
The concept of being married is, like, not the thing that's alluring. It's you.
Yeah, but it's crazy when you just say it in like one sentence,
which is rare for me.
That was some of the most, like, succinct.
Thank you.
Fucking Aristotle shit I ever heard.
The Adderall is on point today.
God damn.
It's the drugs.
It's the Adderall and the coffee, or caffeine, I should say. Yeah, I just don't. I don't think I'll ever resonate with.
No, with that
and also,
idea.
I think because we are aware of, or like have been in community and contact with people who view marriage and relationship like really just like another means to an end, an extension of just like what you're supposed to do.
It's,
I don't know.
I think also being polyamorous helps a lot though, because we've had to unlearn our own attitudes about
of course
relationships, like progressing in seriousness,
Yeah.
you know? And like I've been in a relationship with my girlfriend for like almost a year now.
It's longer than a year, no?
Since we've been like
Fine,
out of the
fine,
talking phase or
fine.
whatever. But like I don't feel any less seriousness about that relationship than I do about like, I don't know, like I don't think it doesn't feel less serious just because she and I are not at all interested in like escalating it to some other.
Not having a title doesn't diminish the value.
No, not at all. I just don't like. I don't think it's helpful to adhere to this like concept.
It will be this way.
Yeah, it's almost like a life raft. I feel.
Yeah.
It does kind of come across actually as like a chasing legitimacy thing.
No, because it totally.
Do you ever wonder? Do you feel like we did that when we were first getting married? Because I kind of feel like I did.
I feel
a
like
little.
we kind of did a little bit.
Yeah. I feel like part of why we got married so young is because we were both chasing the sense of legitimacy.
Oh yeah, of course, and especially for you, we've talked about this before. I think we've talked about this on the pod though. Like we were gonna get married and we were gonna have kids, and then you would finally be seen as a piece like valuable and like what like
and also
your
like
womanhood.
grown up.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, like people would finally take us seriously.
Yeah.
I remember for a long time too, I would say that like I couldn't wait to turn 30 because people would finally take me seriously and people would treat me like an adult.
Yeah.
You know, and like
Here
that's
we
not
are.
true.
Yeah,
That's
here we
not
are.
true. Like the people who are committed to treating you that way are just going to treat you that way. And like
it doesn't matter.
there's no external milestone that you can meet to
Yeah.
convince someone that you're worth respect.
I also too, the thing that cracks me up about that too, with the commitment thing they were talking about, the the commitment they have to whatever.
Yeah.
So like, because also then like that entitlement, then like no wonder he feels emboldened to like be like, I will get, because I would be curious too if she was
my
like,
God.
I want another day.
That's
now.
such a good point.
You know what I'm
Pumpkin.
saying?
You're
Like-
so right.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yuck. You're
You know
so
what I'm
right
saying?
though.
Because
yeah.
I would not feel, but also I wouldn't feel.
It's giving like dog pissing on its property kind of a thing.
I don't like that.
Like the need to have a label so that you're like, well, you owe me because you're my wife kind of a thing.
Kind of like.
Or like I'm the husband.
Yeah.
Someone should celebrate me.
Can
know?
you guys let us know how do we feel about combining days and stuff and holidays and things? I don't know, because is it because we're both so used to it because we're end of the year babies?
Maybe. I mean, listen, again, I'm going to be
Well, also-
clear that I'm the birthday bitch. I love birthdays and
Mickey Atkins,
I'm a
the birthday
menace.
bitch.
Yeah, I'm a menace about it. I ask for you to like celebrate me for like the week of my birthday and
Yeah.
stuff. And like, God love you.
You do get a
comply
birthday.
with.
You do get a fucking birthday week.
I do.
I do it
And
happily.
To be clear, you would get a birthday week too,
If
but
I
you
wanted
hate
one.
them.
I
Yeah,
do.
you don't like gifts. You don't like being the center of attention.
Aaron likes food.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
well, what that's the thing is that like when your birthday is coming up, I make a really intentional effort to beat you to the punch for chores, for cleaning,
It's
for the
true.
stuff that normally is sitting on your mind
Yeah.
so that you have more mental space to just like be yourself.
Stuck about.
And also we make an intentional effort to do like a thing that is fulfilling like food or a trip or,
Definitely.
you know, like a little something,
love a good trip.
little quality time.
Love
yeah.
a good trip.
Yeah. But like that's the thing that you want, you know? Anyways, all of this to say, I'm not going to fault the man for wanting his birthday to be special.
Totally.
I just feel like the way that we went about it and also the attitude of entitlement is like what's off-putting.
I just wanted to watch one more of those because that was good.
Like a
That
pap
was
smear, a
slick.
little swirl.
It is kind of like a.
Yeah. I just think that it's really icky.
I just also too to
The
do it
energy
like
under
also
it.
if they had that conversation on their own.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot less gross.
Yeah.
But I feel like doing it on a like.
Yeah.
Did they think they were
Honestly,
cooking?
Even talking about it on a podcast, I'm like, whatever, share whatever
No,
part
I
of your
guess
personal life
that's
you
fair,
want to.
that's fair.
But it's the way that they're talking about it, where
Yeah.
he's like, my feelings were hurt, so we're boycotting it. But we've made the decision as a family. Like, no, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
You threw a tantrum and got upset, and so you stomped your foot until everybody was like, oh my God, okay. Your birthday is so special.
Also, the other thing too is just like don't when women play like sad meek and like roll over.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's giving soft, and so I don't like it. Or I'm like
Oh,
go,
that's
like
fair.
stand up for yourself.
Oh, yes.
But also, I don't know. Like maybe she really does. But I don't know.
Valid. I think, yeah, that's kind of an ick for you generally, though. We've talked about this
Are
before.
we keeping this in?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've talked about this before that like you are very unattracted to people generally who don't stand on their own 2 feet. Like people who aren't in their own corner, who aren't on their own team, and who don't like put their foot down or aren't like authoritative about their own selves is like kind of an ick for you. Which honestly, I feel the same way.
And to be clear too, I'm not like basing her inherent worth or like.
No.
Okay, cool. I just wanted it to be misconstrued.
No,
okay,
I think
cool.
it's fine.
I think it's probably why I like Kate so much. In Bridgerton.
Oh yes, no, I feel like that's the perfect example. Honestly,
I was editing the episode, the sex scenes episode.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know if I want to be with Kate or be Kate, and honestly, I feel that.
Yes.
I feel that.
Yeah, we stand empowered people. Especially women in this household.
Okay, question.
Yes.
To wrap up this episode, if it was the season, and you were out,
okay,
and you were which Bridgerton?
Which one am I gunning for?
Yeah, which one? I'm not quite sure I could pick.
I feel like okay.
And okay, so we could do one in society, and then one like as you are, as you is.
In society, I would be gunning for Anthony.
Okay, of course.
Because he's a catch. He's a little hottie. But also, like, the power, the title, all of that obviously would be attractive to me.
How much power you would have.
But on top of that, he's very, like, he's authoritative.
I know.
I could get in fights with that man.
That is a parentified child
you know?
if I ever.
Well, yeah.
You said I could get in fights with him. Yeah, honestly.
You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Like
that makeup sex is gonna be good.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That's fair.
I really enjoy the like sort of fiery, flary temper.
Yeah.
Which I know is toxic. I know this about myself, but it's just the thing that like I really respect people who can go toe to toe with me because like
Totally.
I know about myself that especially when I'm mad, I'm like pretty well spoken.
I know you are. I know for sure.
And I can like stand on my own 2 feet, and I will like pretty clearly and emphatically and passionately get my point across in a way that's also very like emotional and compelling and like I know this about myself.
It's incredible.
And so
I'm like, great. Do I just like the quality? Do I just like that because that's the way you are? Son of a bitch. Son of a fucking bitch.
And also like that's
it makes sense.
Because I like that about you too.
Fuck.
When you put your foot down and you're like sarcastic and spicy with me, I enjoy that a lot. We can have a good little banter and a little tit for tat, and then we're done. We're over it. It's fine.
We fight like an old married couple.
Yes.
No, not even. We fight like two
fight like college roommates.
Cats. We do fight like college roommates sometimes.
We're like 2 black cats when we fight with each other.
God damn, it's so true.
But so in society, I think I would choose Anthony. Out of society, I feel like I would choose Benedict. I love me an artsy soft.
I was literally gonna say you can't steal mine. That's not fair. That's not fair.
Benedict is such a cat.
I know. That's how I feel about
funny,
Eloise
he's
too.
Sweet. He's kind.
I love their
he's
sister-brother relationship. I love their little scenes on the.
I know, but if dating women is an option, I'm choosing Eloise.
Of course, that's what I said in this. I don't know.
Penelope is all.
Well, she's not a Bridgerton. Well, she's a Bridgerton now.
Yeah.
That would be something for Whistledown to write about.
I know.
Or if you've made it this far.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you get it. There's spoilers all up in there.
It's definitely not Colin.
He's too baby girl.
He's too Colin-y.
He's too baby girl for me.
Benedict is exactly, but Benedict, I don't know.
I just like that Benedict is silly and funny and like sexually fluid and artsy and like
Benedict and Tilly. I don't know how we could arrange a
little square
a triad marriage, but I would in a heartbeat, of course.
I would make a pentagon with them in a heartbeat.
What is their other third? John.
I don't know. George? Gregory? No, that's the kid.
No.
The grown man.
Remember. That Tilly was also in relation with.
I thought it was a G name.
I was really hoping they would flesh out that relationship a little bit more.
I was hoping they would too.
And they literally just used it as like, but also they were the most most like G-rated.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I'm not saying there needs to be like smut,
yeah.
But compared to like the other 2 seasons,
I do feel like the women end up naked a lot more often than the men do, though.
I know. All we got is fucking cheeks.
I know.
No one's gonna fucking. What does Danny DeVito say? Not lay pipe. He's gonna lay dong.
Lay pipe is the term.
Lay pipe is a term. I know, obviously.
It sounds like we're saying like pipe with a French prefix, like le pipe.
Le pipe. Le pipe. I can't remember what Danny DeVito says when they're filming fucking Thunder Gun, not Thunder Gun. Fucking Die Hard, 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's that awful scene where he's.
God. I don't remember all of that episode, actually.
That's fair.
Maybe that's for
I
good
do
reason.
because I've watched them like 7 times. It's not
that's
a healthy.
Fair.
It's my comfort show.
Yeah.
Yours is The Office.
Yeah. Well, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Benedict and Eloise for me.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
That's fair.
You could, in Regency world, you could choose a woman. I could not. I would have to have
I'm sorry.
secret, hushed romances, intense looks on the dance floor.
We could marry
with Chappell Roan and a string quartet playing in the background.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I know. I'm surprised they didn't take the low-hanging fruit.
I know. I think it was filmed probably before Chappell blew up.
That's fair too. And also, I'm pretty sure. I'm not going to assume the sexual preferences of the person who took all the credit for picking the Pitbull song. So.
Yeah, the showrunner.
I bet you there will be a Chappell Roan arrangement in the next one.
I hope so.
Money on it.
There fucking better be.
I'll put money on it.
There better be between Francesca and Michaela.
Remind me in 2 years.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm distracted by you picking at the table.
Oh, sorry, now I'm doing.
It's hard not to, huh? Once you get started.
Once you start,
it's a very satisfying sensory experience.
I have my slime.
Yeah.
And I forgot to show it on this episode, but I will show it on next week's episode, which we're going to film here in like 2 minutes. But you'll see it next week.
Okay, great. If you want to support the episode, you can like the episode and subscribe and leave us reviews and all of those things. You can go watch the other ones too. We yap every week, so
we do be yapping.
Thanks for coming. We love you the most, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.